Welcome to this explainer, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for so many parents, empowering late talkers. As an expert from Next Level Speech and Physiotherapy Center right here in Dubai, I really want to share our clinical experience to bring you some clarity, a lot of comfort, and most importantly, real actionable steps. Let's get right into it.
So, picture this. Your little boy is 22 months old and maybe only has, 5 words. Or your daughter just turned 2 and she mostly just points or pulls you toward the snack cabinet when she wants something. You are probably swimming in a sea of opinions. I mean, we hear it all the time at the clinic. A well-meaning relative says, "Oh, boys are just always slower." Or a neighbor insists her kid didn't talk until he was 3 and turned out totally fine. It's incredibly overwhelming, right? You're surrounded by all this conflicting advice when literally all you want to do is help your little one.
And despite all those good intentions, you still have that nagging feeling, don't you? You look at your kiddo and think, is my child really just a late talker, or is there something more going on here? Well, I'm here to validate that feeling right now. That parent instinct, it is absolutely spot on and worth listening to. At Next Level Speech and Physiotherapy Center, we see late talkers literally every single day. And our whole approach starts with acknowledging that your intuition is your superpower. You know your child better than anyone else on the planet. If something feels even a little off, it's always worth exploring. That intuition actually ties directly into our core philosophy at the clinic. Early assessment equals reassurance, or a vital head start. Over our 11-plus years of hands-on experience, supporting over 7,000 children and their families, which is just wild to think about, the one thing we consistently tell parents is this: getting an assessment early is never, ever the wrong move. There's honestly no downside. Think about it. If they're perfectly fine, you get this incredible peace of mind. You can finally breathe. And if they do need a little help, well, you get a crucial head start on supporting them. Okay, so let's clear the air and define what a late talker actually is. In our clinical practice, a late talker is typically a toddler, so between 18 months and 3 years old, who just has fewer words than we'd expect for their age. But here is the absolutely critical distinction. They don't show obvious delays in other areas of development. They usually understand exactly what you're saying to them, they make wonderful eye contact, they engage socially, and they seem to be taking the whole world in like a sponge. They just aren't talking much yet. It's a very specific profile that our team is highly trained to spot. So, what exactly are we looking for when a toddler walks through our doors? Let's do a quick mental checklist together. We're specifically looking to see if a child has fewer than 10 words by 18 months, or maybe fewer than 50 words by the time they hit 2. We also check if they're not yet combining words at age 2, saying things like more milk or daddy go. We very often see these kiddos relying heavily on pointing or literally pulling you by the hand to the fridge. But again, the key here is they have great social engagement and understand what you tell them. If this sounds exactly like your little one, getting an assessment is going to give us a super precise picture of what to do next. Now, this distinction we just talked about, it perfectly illustrates why that whole just wait and see approach gets tossed around so much, but also why it can be super risky. There's a big difference between a simple late talker and a child with a broader speech delay. A late talker just has fewer words, but a child with a broader language delay might actually be struggling with comprehension or social communication alongside not talking as much. And while yes, some late talkers do catch up on their own, our clinical outcomes clearly show that a really meaningful number of them just don't. Early support is a game changer. It helps them make faster, much more complete progress than if we just cross our fingers and leave them to catch up alone. So the million-dollar question, how do we actually figure out where your child stands? Let me demystify the assessment process at Next Level for you, because I promise it's not what you think. First off, there are absolutely no scary, formal sit-down tests for children this young. No way. Step 1 is pure play-based interaction. We literally just get on the floor and play. Step 2 is a deep dive conversation with you, because honestly, you hold a wealth of information about how your child communicates at home. And step 3, we give you clear, honest feedback. If we think they'll catch up without us, we'll tell you straight up. If we think therapy is the way to go, we'll explain exactly what that looks like and why. And hey, if we do recommend therapy, I want you to know what that actually looks like in practice. At Next Level, our therapy is entirely built on meaningful interaction. We don't do flashcard drills. Toddlers learn language through play, so our sessions are structured around the exact activities your child already loves. We use proven, evidence-based techniques, things like modeling and expansion, to naturally build their vocabulary. We gently support that transition from pointing and grunting to actually using their voice. It's a highly tailored and, honestly, super joyful process for everyone involved. But here is the reality check. Your child spends vastly more time with you than they ever will in our clinic. So the strategies you use at home, they carry massive weight. Let's look at one of the most practical techniques we teach literally every family: narrating daily activities. It sounds simple, right? It just means commenting on what you see, what you're doing, and what your child is doing as you go about your day. Daddy is washing the cup, or you're building a tall tower. You're essentially creating this incredibly rich language environment, bathing them in words, without ever demanding that they respond to you. Here's another strategy, and it's actually a bit of a surprising clinical insight we constantly share with families. Ready? Stop asking so many questions. It's human nature to quiz our kids, right? What is that? Say ball. But instead, try reducing that pressure. Just say, oh, wow, a ball. And then pause. Just wait. When you stop demanding an answer, you give your child this beautiful model of language without putting them on the spot. It completely takes the pressure off. And honestly, you'd be amazed at how often a child will step into that quiet, open space and organically try to communicate all on their own. I know navigating all of this can feel so overwhelming, especially in a fast-paced city like ours. And really, that's where the next level difference comes in. Our therapists aren't just DHI licensed pediatric experts. We have deep specialized experience in bilingual development. This is huge in Dubai. Late talkers in bilingual homes are so often misdiagnosed with a severe delay. Or on the flip side, their bilingualism is used as an excuse to ignore a delay that actually needs clinical support. Our team knows exactly how to tell the difference. Plus, we're super conveniently located right in the Fattan Marina business hub in JBR. And yes, we offer totally flexible appointment times because we know firsthand the chaos of navigating toddler nap schedules and the daily school run. Which brings us to our final and probably most important question for you today. Why spend another month wondering? If your toddler isn't talking as much as you expected, please don't just sit there in anxiety. We've had so many families from across Dubai Marina, JBR, JLT, and Bluewaters walk through our doors with totally quiet toddlers and leave with kids who literally will not stop chatting. Taking that first step for an assessment is straightforward and totally low pressure. You can actually just shoot us a WhatsApp message right now, no commitment required, just to start the conversation. So I'll leave you with this one thought to ponder. If just 1 hour of your time could unlock your child's voice and give you absolute peace of mind, isn't that worth finding out?